Owning a Ford Mustang is quite an experience. It's like having a personal rocket ship with you. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows, so let's take a real look at what it means to own a Ford Mustang. Let's start with the pros. Let's be honest, the Ford Mustang is a head-turner. It's iconic, it's stylish, and everywhere you go, people will be looking. The classic silhouette, the tri-bar taillights, the long hood, the car just looks good. It's been in production since 1964 and has gone through a number of design changes over the years, but it has always retained its classic look. The current model has a more modern design, but it still pays homage to the classic Ford Mustangs of the past. There is a certain timeless appeal to it. Current models range from a two-seater fastback to a convertible. The rumble, for me, is one of the best things about owning a Ford Mustang. The engine roars, and it's got quite a lot of power under the hood. The Ford Mustang comes with a variety of engine options, from a 4-cylinder EcoBoost engine to a V8 engine. The 4-cylinder EcoBoost engine produces 310 horsepower and 350 pound-feet of torque, while the V8 engine produces 460 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. The Ford Mustang GT can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 4 seconds. The acceleration is incredible, and when you step on the gas, you can feel it take off. It's a thrill every time you drive it. Even the base model comes with a 6-speed manual transmission, with an optional 10-speed automatic transmission. It's a true muscle car. It's worth pointing out that for those who own a Ford Mustang, you are pretty much entering a club. Everywhere you go, you will run into fellow Ford Mustang enthusiasts. The Ford Mustang has a long and rich history, and there are a lot of owners who are passionate about the car. There are a lot of online forums and clubs where Ford Mustang owners can connect with each other. It's great to be part of something, and you can find events and meetups to attend. And if you are into customizing your car, the Ford Mustang is a great starting point. There are countless aftermarket options available to make it your own. The Ford Mustang has been a popular car to customize for many years, and there is a wide variety of aftermarket parts available. You can add spoilers, improve performance by adding a turbo or a supercharger, upgrade the interior by adding leather seats or a new sound system. You name it. You can change the suspension, the brakes, the exhaust, and even the engine. It's a car for almost everyone. Okay, now for the cons, because we've got to keep it real. Let's start with the elephant in the room. If you are looking for fuel efficiency, the Ford Mustang is not your car. It's a high-performance machine and it guzzles gas. The Ford Mustang is not known for its fuel economy, and the V8 engine is particularly bad in this regard. The 4-cylinder EcoBoost engine gets around 21 miles per gallon in the city and 32 miles per gallon on the highway, while the V8 engine gets around 15 miles per gallon in the city and 24 miles per gallon on the highway. You will have to spend a lot of time at the gas station, and the costs can add up quickly. If you are looking for a car that is fuel efficient, you should look elsewhere. Also, the Ford Mustang is not the most practical car. The back seats are small, measuring only about 30 inches of legroom, and you won't be able to fit a lot of stuff in the trunk. The trunk has only about 13.5 cubic feet of space, which is smaller than some sedans. If you often carry passengers and luggage, it might be a hassle. The Ford Mustang is a two-door car, so getting in and out of the back seats can also be a challenge. It is also not a lighter sports car out there, weighing around 3,800 pounds. The Ford Mustang is not known for its handling, and it can be a bit clumsy on winding roads. The suspension is tuned for comfort, so it is not as responsive as some other sports cars. If you are on a winding road, the Ford Mustang can be a bit unwieldy. I am not saying it is terrible, but it is also not as responsive as other cars. It also has a relatively large turning radius, which can make it difficult to maneuver in tight spaces. Also, Ford Mustang parts can be expensive, and depending on the issue, the repair can take time and money. The Ford Mustang is not a particularly expensive car to repair, but it is not cheap either. If you need to replace any major parts, such as the engine or transmission, you can expect to pay a pretty penny. And since it is a high-performance car, it requires regular maintenance to keep it running smoothly. Maintaining this car in good condition can be a bit of a chore. These are the pros and cons of owning a Ford Mustang in my opinion. It's an amazing car, but it's also important to be aware of its drawbacks. If you are looking for an exhilarating experience, it's definitely a great choice. But make sure you are ready for the commitments of almost a second family. What about you? What do you think? Would you like to own a Ford Mustang? Let me know in the comments below.